How we doing, guys? Welcome to the preview and the predicted lineup. Port Vale against Arsenal, Carabao Cup third round. Now, some of you out there are probably thinking, who on earth are Port Vale? They are a League One side. We do have history of playing them in cup competitions, albeit a long time ago. But listen, these are the games that you kind of look at away from home and you think, just don't be one of those games where you're on the receiving end of an upset. You think of the Grimsby game against Manchester United. You don't want another situation like that. And this is a big opportunity to make a lot of changes. Now, we've spoken about how good our squad is, but this is an opportunity to make changes. And we still look very, very strong. Now, I'm recording this before Mikel Arteta's press conference for the game, before there's any, major updates on potential injuries, who will be available and not. So I'm kind of going, with what I feel will be available and hopefully be available and what Mikel will ultimately select. And, Port Vale, they sit 19th in League One. They've only won 2 games of their opening 9. But what I will say is that those 2 wins were actually their last 2 games. So where they were winless in their opening 7, losing 5 and drawing 2, they've seemed to have turned a bit of a corner and they've got a couple of wins under their belt. And this is a free hit for them. This is a game that they're going to look at and say, how many opportunities do you get to play a team like Arsenal? How many opportunities do you get for a team like Arsenal to turn up and be at our ground? So it's a huge game. And what you don't want is to be on the receiving end, like I said, of a cup upset and everybody laughing at you. And listen, we've all documented how strong our squad is. We can't sit there and say that, our second 11 is so strong that it would finish within the top 6 of, the Premier League to then go to places like Port Vale and lose. It would just be embarrassing. And that's no disrespect to Port Vale, but the levels are huge. So you want to go into this, be professional, get the job done, and then see who you get in the next round. And yeah, look, when you're looking at the lineup, I kind of had a lineup in mind, and then I've kind of changed it as well. And I will, kind of go in more detail about that, in the sense that I was probably looking at this game and saying Bukayo Saka starts this game. I know that sounds mad, but you're looking at the Man City game when he came back. It was probably only, agreed that he would play around about 20 minutes of that game and then start the game against Port Vale, maybe play an hour and then be ready for the Newcastle game at the weekend. But with Noni Madueke getting injured, the fact that Bukayo Saka had to play 45 minutes and the fact that we now hear the news that Noni Madueke is going to be out for up to 2 months, it makes it even more important that Bukayo Saka has to be wrapped in cotton wool. He plays the games that he needs to play. This is not a game that Bukayo Saka needs to play. Absolutely not. Okay? So that's kind of changed that narrative and what I was thinking there. But listen, I think it's going to be a strong 11. I'd like to see a lot of changes. I think we need it. We could have a ridiculous bench. If you think our bench was good on Sunday, we could have a very, very strong bench, ridiculously strong, if needed. But for me, I feel that this is what Mikel Arteta should go with. Starting off in goal, Kepa gets his opportunity. And it's nice that we've actually got a second choice goalkeeper that's not cup tied. Crazy decision, that one, wasn't it? But yeah, Kepa in goal. It's a very straightforward decision for me. Right back will be Ben White. He's back on the bench. in contention, should be playing. Jurriën Timber needs a rest. Ben White has to come in. It's as simple as that. Right centre back would be Christian Mosquera. Came on very late in the game against Man City, but this is the perfect opportunity. Probably played more minutes than what we would have, thought so far because of the injury to William Saliba. But again, it's straightforward. Christian Mosquera comes in. No reason to risk Saliba whatsoever. Left centre back, I'm going to go for Henkape. Haven't heard how serious his injury may be. Missed the game against Man City. I'm going on the presumption that he will be available for the game. And if he is, it's the perfect one to make his debut. It's as simple as that. Bring Gabriel out of the side and he plays. If Henkape is not fit, then you may well have to look at maybe a Calafiori at left centre-back. I'm bringing Gabriel out of the side, full stop. Doesn't matter who's going to go in there. You could even possibly look at maybe risking Saliba because he's not had loads of minutes, playing him in the left centre-back position like he does for France with Mosquera at right, centre-back. But whatever happens, Gabriel, for me, comes out of the side, gets his rest. It's that simple. Left back will be Miles Lewis-Skelly. I do think this is a very straightforward one as well. Has had a tough start to the season, and he's not really getting his opportunity. But listen, this is his opportunity. So very simple. Moving into the midfield, first of all, Christian Norgard. Again, a straightforward one. Very experienced, no issues whatsoever. And it's a good player to have to come into the side with the likes of Zubimendi and whatnot coming out. Next to him, Mikel Moreno. Declan Rice comes out, won't be playing him. Moreno only played 45 minutes against Man City. I'd say 45 minutes too long because he shouldn't have started the game, especially not in that position. But for this one, very, very straightforward. On the right-hand side, I'm going to go with Max Dowman. No issues whatsoever with giving him an opportunity and playing him. When I watched him for the under-21s before the Man City game as well, the day before, should I say, he's just so good. And I don't care if he's only 15 years old, he's ready. And these kind of games are the ones where you can play him. And I've already spoken about the situation with Bukayo Saka. Wrap him in cotton wool. Don't need to risk him whatsoever. Max Dowman plays for me. In that number 10 position, I'm going to go with Ethan Nwaneri. Again, don't know the situation with Odegaard. Wouldn't be playing him anyway. For me, it's the perfect opportunity for Ethan Nwaneri to play in his natural position. And it's a straightforward one. On the left-hand side, I would go with Leandro Trossard. Again, a straightforward one for me, I think. And listen, he's an experienced player. Yeah, what more do you want me to say? I think it's a solid selection, simple as that. And then up front in that number 9 position, I'm going to go with Gabriel Martinelli. I think we've seen what he's like when he's playing in that kind of number 9. And I think that's where we need to be utilising him, using him and seeing if we can keep building on his confidence and goals and everything else moving forward. Because if we can get him scoring goals and getting confident, then it's only going to benefit us, ain't it? So, no Victor Gyökeres, no Eze, etc. And yeah, listen, that would be my 11. I think that's a very, very strong 11. I think there's some youth in there and good opportunities for the likes of Dowman, Nwaneri, Miles Lewis-Skelly, etc. But you've got so much experience in there. You've got the likes of Henkape, you've got the likes of Ben White, Norgard, Moreno, Trossard, Martinelli. That's a very, very strong lineup, and that should be enough to take care of business. It's as simple as that. And with the bench, you could have a Gyökeres, an Eze, a Declan Rice, a Bukayo Saka, a Saliba. It could be a ridiculously strong bench. Ridiculous. you know, the one thing Port Vale won't want is to be 70 minutes into the game and still involved and looking and thinking, okay, what happens now? And Arsenal make some subs and they look at who's coming on and they're thinking, oh no, what on earth is happening here? And that is the level in depth. And yeah, listen, I think that's a strong enough lineup. I think it's a complete and utter change, but it doesn't weaken us at all. And it should be enough to get the job done. So listen, there we go. That is it for the preview and the predicted lineup. As usual, let me know in the comment section whether you agree or disagree. If you're new around here, like I was saying, hit the subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and I will see you lot very soon. I'm out of here.